going to have a story time.
The old crone don't want to leave.
Okay, so we are going to read an excerpt from Les Miserables Crones. Les Miserables Crones. Tales of Entitled Bitter Women. And we have an excerpt. Oh, she just cannot help herself. This woman. Oh, God. Bernie.
We do not have the time to have a theoretical debate about a policy that will never, ever come to pass.
Never.
Imagine that.
So that's a miserable crone right there.
So for those of you who have been paying attention, and I'm sure you have, Hillary Clinton decided once again
to rear
her head, and why somebody felt the need that they had to get a comment from her regarding Elizabeth Warren's article in Politico this past week.
No, it has to do, but I think she released a book. She released a book, Hillary did, that talks about something about this. Yes, she released a book.
She did, and I didn't even
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's why she's rearing her head. She released a book, and in the book, it references this conversation with Elizabeth Warren, wherein Hillary said, yeah, I believe that. I know he says things like that about people, or I know how he talks about women. Like as if that's just the thing Bernie does. Yeah, Bernie's a real misogynist.
It all started with Elizabeth Warren saying that, I heard people telling me that if I simply had a penis, they would vote for me. It's like, I'm sorry, but when people...
She's a liar.
When people come after Warren
liar.
And everyone's like, oh, why are you picking on Elizabeth Warren?
She's a liar.
She kind of brings it on herself.
She's a liar.
Like, why would you even say that?
Bernie specifically approached her and wanted her to run. He wanted her to run in 2016. He didn't want to do that. He wanted her to do that. So why would he want somebody to run that he didn't think was capable of doing that? So she's a liar.
Great point, Jen. Just wanted to point that out there. Arizona, very red. So, well, it's a purple state. I mean, let's be fair about that. But yeah, you get a ballot initiative, and that makes sense.
Because most people in both parties support populist ideas.
That's correct.
And right now, we're just seeing what's happening with a government run by a minority.
Which is all the more reason why people want to peg Bernie and Trump supporters as being equals and being vile. And the reality is, and again, we've been to a Trump rally. Are there vile Trump supporters there? Absolutely. Oh, yeah. And they are a very small part of who shows up.
Very.
So you can assume that everyone's like that. And yet I always found it interesting when the Nazis, if you will, showed up in Orlando and Tampa, and how many of them were actually there? I don't know, 10? Because that makes up, millions and millions of people.
But it's so much juicier and it's so much more clickbaity. And so they appreciate that. But they want to believe that if we could just get rid of Trump and the MAGA people and we could just get rid of them, everything will just be fine. Everything will just be, we can just go back to normal. Everything will be fine. But I don't think they realize that that's a very small percentage of the people. It's a very small group of people.
Another reason we wanted to do this story about Hillary has a lot to do with the fact that obviously Trump's Mar-a-Lago got raided, and rightfully so. He clearly was protecting classified information, which is a very big part of the equation for sure. But if we're being honest here, Hillary's, you want to call it ego, her hubris.
Oh, knows no bounds.
The fact of the matter is, this is a person who broke federal law in such an extraordinary way that she should have been disqualified from running for president in 2016. She set up a private server in her home for the purpose of doing business with the Clinton Foundation while she was the Secretary of State.
I find that interesting. You think she should be disqualified for running? I think she should be in prison.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to dispute that either. Do you know how much money went through the Clinton Foundation, ladies and gentlemen? $3 billion. Do you know who was the top donor of the Clinton Foundation? The Saudi royal family, much like Trump does business with the Saudis.
Right, but the Clintons are so holier than thou.
But when the Clintons do it, it's okay.
It's all good. Can someone please differentiate for me the difference between the Clinton Foundation and money laundering? That's all. Just someone please, like if somebody could distinguish what the Clinton Foundation is from a typical money laundering operation, I'd find that fascinating.
You be careful with what you say there, Declan, because you're starting to give yourself away, buddy.
Oh, I already know that that's Declan because he was already mocking my hairline, which I don't appreciate, by the way. It's not nice.
I'm sure he could think of some shit.
I'm just saying, you could talk about something a little bit more relevant.
But what you have to remember also about Hillary is despite the things that she clearly did, which was against the law, and when she would joke about how you mean wipe my server with a cloth, when you do think, you see, again, it has to do with presentation. See, Trump is so crass and people just hate him.
Except for the people that love that about him.
Correct.
So it's like that, again, that Pied Piper strategy. Let's find someone really uber offensive and disgusting that they have no chance of winning. All you're doing is baiting the uber offensive and disgusting people to come out of the woodwork.
But the idea that Hillary wanted to sort of dance on Trump's grave and not only that, but is selling merch saying, but her emails, you know?
But her emails.
You mean the emails that were illegal? And so the way that the conversation goes on social media is, yeah, my side committed crimes, but your side's crimes were worse.
You know what I feel like, though, when you talk about Hillary with the emails, I kind of feel it reminds me of like the fact that Paul Newman won a Best Actor for Color of Money. It's like, really, that's what you're going to get her on is the emails? She's a war criminal. Like,
you're
there's
saying that
so
Paul
many
Newman should have
things.
won the Best Actor for, well, I guess he
The
should have won
Hustler.
for, well, or The Sting. You know.
The Hustler.
Yeah.
But neither her, that's what this is like. You to get her on the emails, that's like getting Al Capone on tax evasion. It's really very similar. But like, she should be disqualified. She should be in prison.
Yeah. And there are people who say, well, how could you say such a thing?
Very
Jen,
easily.
Jen, you're not a good Democrat. You're not a team player.
You know what?
What
I'm
is
not
wrong
a good
with
Democrat.
telling the truth?
I'm a decent person.
And this is part of the reason, bringing the conversation full circle, why Hillary Clinton hates Bernie Sanders. Because Bernie Sanders told the truth.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.